You are an emotional creature and you are a lot more guided by your emotion than you think. Emotions truly run our life, and in many ways we spend much of our time thinking about how to manage our emotions or how to avoid certain emotions. Humans are funny creatures, and the really funny thing is that we have the power to transmute and overcome any single emotion that we have ever experienced, as you know, because you've already overcome them. Yet still, sometimes we find ourselves hiding away and running away from what we are feeling, and that can leave us feeling trapped, looping around in old situations and being stuck in old patterns. So today I wanted to give you a quick and easy process that you can use anytime you want to process an emotion and to let it come out of you. So I really hope this video will transform the relationship you have with your emotions, including the negative ones, and give you back a sense of power. So I can't wait to dive into this. So if you want to learn more, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I'm a manifestation and mindset coach, and you have found my YouTube channel. This is where I create 2 new videos for you each and every single week, all about the art of combining manifestation and mindset together so that you can use both of these powerful tools in the best way possible for you to manifest your desires and to create the life you've always dreamed about. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to learn more about me, then you can come on over to my site. I have business coaching opportunities set up for you if you are a spiritual entrepreneur looking to launch your business and go from 0 to 5K in the next 6 months. Then you'll want to come over and fill out an application form. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a link for that in the description box below. And besides that, if you want to keep up with my daily adventures, then I suggest you come over and follow me on Instagram. I update my Instagram stories every single day, and that is really the best way to keep in touch with me and to keep on top of what I'm doing in my daily life. So come on over, say hi, I'd love to see you over there. So I know you think that you are a very logical person and that emotions don't run your life. Well, I'd like to point out the truth of the situation, and the truth is, for every single one of us, we are actually very much governed by our emotional state. For example, if you go out to the mall and you buy something, that purchase is usually coming from an emotion that you're feeling. And I'm talking about impulse buys right now, not about your groceries. We tend to see something and want it for a certain guttural, emotional reason. And then we come back later with our logic and justify the reasons why we had to have it. But the emotion came first, the logic came second. And I just wanted to put that example out there at the beginning of this because I think some people still don't understand just how powerful our emotions are. We know that we have emotions, but we don't know how to manage them, and we don't realize the way that they manage. So when it comes to good emotions, for most of us, we love our good emotions and we want to concentrate on our good emotions, but we don't really know what to do with the negative ones. And in fact, the negative emotions in our world can give us a lot of stress. They might make us feel like we're out of control, like we're doing something wrong, or like we've done something wrong in life that put us in this situation. So this is all a part of emotional literacy. And before we even get into what I wanted to talk about today, I just want to remind you that you are a human being who is capable of having both amazing highs and really big lows. So if there's something dark that you're going through right now, or something that you've experienced in the past, I really don't want you to think that that is something that has gone wrong in your world. Every single one of us experiences ups and downs. We all have moments of incredible joy and also of incredible sadness or grief or whatever it is. I know sometimes in the manifesting world, we concentrate so much on the positive emotions that you might feel like you are being punished, like you did something to create this negative feeling. And I just want to go ahead and tell you that that is completely untrue. And that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves about the world of manifestation. You are human and you get to experience it all, and the negative stuff is valuable. It is not stuff that maybe we want to create more of, but it is stuff that is here to teach us something, and we are ultimately more powerful than our negative emotions. So today I wanted to talk about how you can start to process your negative feelings, because this is what tends to happen. Our negative feelings can be so scary and so big and so overwhelming that we will tend to run and try to hide from them for as long as we can. So that can create all kinds of problems in your world. For example, if there's a problem in your relationship that you are trying to run from, that can come back later as this huge eruption or a big unraveling that seems to be out of the blue, but it was actually started way back a long time ago. And I'm sure we can all experience something like that at some point in our life. This can also lead to us looping around in behavioral patterns, because if there's something that you need to change and there's something that you need to address, yet you are too afraid to actually do it because you're afraid of how you're going to feel, you are going to feel stuck in the situation you're in, and you're going to keep going around in circles and going around in circles. So that can also lead us to feeling stuck, to feeling like we're cursed somehow, or like some things in our world are just never going to change, when really the problem is that we are too afraid to let what we need to do happen. We're afraid to face up to our emotions. We're afraid to feel that negativity. But like I said, it is important for us to acknowledge this stuff is there. You do not get to live a life that is void of negativity. We all have negative stuff happen to us. I don't care who you are. Even Oprah has stuff that happens to her that isn't going to feel good, right? We all have this stuff. This is not a matter of you just being a good person and then all that stuff goes away. This stuff is going to come up. So this is what I consider to be just a tool for life. You need to know how to deal with your emotions, especially the negative emotions. Otherwise, they are going to rule your world and you are going to feel trapped and stuck and living in a rut. Things are going to keep coming back over and over and over again because you will not let yourself get out. So the funny thing about this is that actually emotions are not as big and dark and scary as we think they are. And humans are so funny. Sometimes we will spend weeks, months, even years avoiding feeling the pain around a certain subject or a certain thought. Whereas if we actually just face that thought and we let it sit there for a while, the pain from that thought would not last nearly as long as we think it would. So what I'm challenging you to do today in this video is to not only face your emotions, to name your emotions, but to also go through the process of acknowledging them, of feeling them, of letting them come to the surface. I promise you, this is actually way more liberating than running away. The thing is, the more you run away from something, the scarier it's going to seem, the more overwhelming it's going to seem. It might even be at that point in your life where you think that if you let your issues from your childhood, from your teen years, from 5 years ago, from last week, come to the surface, that is going to overwhelm you and you are going to get stuck into a cycle of depression. And I can assure you that that isn't the way that depression works. You have the option to transmute this. You have the option to move beyond this. The more willing you are to let yourself sit with this and feel this, actually, the faster you're going to be able to get through it. So I'm just giving you this video today because I want to give you a little pep talk and put this little tool in your emotional tool belt to help you to do this work yourself. Part of the reason why this happens is because our brain is hardwired to protect us. Your brain's number one job in this world is to keep you alive and healthy. And the funny thing is, it remembers all the times in our past where we became hurt emotionally. And it remembers those things like they were almost detrimental to our very survival. So when you felt abandoned by your parents or not loved or whatever happened to you, those things are filed very deeply away in your lizard part of your brain, and you're going to spend some part of your adult life trying to avoid feeling those ways again. And when that comes back in your adulthood, that results in us feeling triggered, doing crazy things, having big overreactions, acting very out of character for ourselves. That is when that part of us gets triggered and comes up again. If you can learn how to step away from that protection zone, if you can just challenge yourself to sit with the darkness, sit with the negative thought, sit with that just for a moment, for a few minutes, you can free yourself from the cycle and therefore, again, find so much more freedom and joy in your world. Okay, that was a very long intro. That was a little longer than I planned on, but I want to give you an actual process today to help walk you through this. So, watching this video right now, I want you to sit down, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in, get a little bit centered, and I want you to think about something in your world that is bothering you right now. And I want you to think of the situation. So maybe you lost your job, maybe you just broke up with somebody, maybe somebody betrayed you somehow, whatever the thing might be. I want you to think about that situation. And more importantly than that, I want you to think about the story that you're making that mean. So we all have a story about something. So the story will sound something like, my boyfriend dumped me, which means I'm unlovable and no one's ever going to love me again. Something like that. That's a story, because that stuff is not actual fact. That is something that you are creating out of an actual fact, right? This actual factual situation is the person broke up with you. Everything else after that, that is stuff that you're just creating up here, right? And that's the stuff that's really hurtful and really painful, and the stuff that we try to run away from. So you have the circumstance, you have the story that you're creating, and now I want you to tap into the feeling. So go to that dark place in your mind. So for example, if you have that thought, my boyfriend broke up with me, therefore no one is ever going to love me again. If you let that thought sit there for a moment in your heart, in your soul, in your gut, wherever it is, close your eyes and tune into that feeling. And I know it doesn't feel good, but trust me, it is not going to actually physically hurt you. So I want you to just sit here for a moment, and I want you to feel it. I want you to let all that anger, that depression, that sadness, that anguish, whatever it is, I want you to let it come to the surface for a few minutes and just sit here with it with your eyes closed. You're perfectly safe. You're in a chair. You're calm. Please don't do this while you're driving, by the way. Just sit here, be calm, feel the feeling, feel the darkness, feel it, okay? And as you're feeling it, I want you to notice exactly where in your body you're feeling it. So are you feeling it in your gut? Are you feeling it in your heart? Are you feeling it in your back, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw? Where is this feeling coming from the most? So I want you to tune into that. And once you've tuned into that, I want you to describe it to yourself. I want you to think about, what does this feel like? Does it feel like a dark ball of black energy? Does it feel like hot pulsing energy? What color is it? What temperature is it? Like, does it feel intense? Does it feel light? Does it feel cold? Does it feel hot? How would you describe this feeling? And think about that, where it is in your body. And you can just speak it out loud to yourself if you want, but just acknowledge to yourself what you are feeling and how this feeling physically feels inside of you right now. Okay, so now we know where it is in your body and we know what it feels like. And I'm hoping that you are releasing it, feeling into it, feeling the darkness, feeling the pain, feeling the anger, feeling it, whatever it is right now. And as you're sitting here feeling it, I want you to notice if the pain is moving, if the pain is changing, if the pain is shifting. Is it getting lighter? Is it getting heavier? Is it getting darker? Is it getting more intense, less intense? What is it feeling like right now? And what you will find is that within 90 seconds of you feeling this feeling, letting yourself fully sink into it, it is going to start to shift. So whatever the initial feeling was, the initial horrible feeling, after 90 seconds, it is going to start to turn into something else. So if you're feeling like you needed to scream or cry or whatever it is, it's okay. It's okay. You have 90 seconds. 90 seconds. That's not a long time. Let yourself feel it. If you haven't processed it already, if it hasn't changed already, let it come out now. Hit pause, sit with it, let it change, see what happens. Okay, and now once you've noticed that it's starting to lighten up and starting to shift and starting to change, I want you to maybe take a little mental step back from it for a moment, and I want you to ask it, what are you trying to tell me? What is this dark pain trying to tell you? What is this sadness trying to tell you? What is this rage trying to tell you? What is this loss trying to tell you? I want you to listen to what this message is sending you. And all of our emotions are just a message coming from somewhere inside of us. So once you get the lesson from something, once you figure out where something was coming from, that is ultimately what it was here for. Everything that we experience in our life is just a lesson. We are all here constantly learning and growing. And when you can figure out what that is, when you can hear the message, that will very often release you and let you go to the other side. So sit with it for another minute here and just think about what it wants to tell you. Sometimes even the messages of anger and darkness and sadness, they just come back and are just a reminder for you to love yourself more. They're a reminder for you to stick up for yourself, or to speak up for yourself, or to do something for yourself. So whatever the message is right now, I just want you to tune into that and to hold on to that. And I want you to take a few more deep breaths here. And now I want you to imagine picking up that emotion wherever it is inside of you. Physically hold on to it with your hands, and I want you to change it. I want you to shrink it down until it's a tiny little ball, until it almost disappears. And then I want you to imagine throwing it behind you, so far away that it can't hurt you ever again. Okay? So imagine holding on to it, taking it out of your body, taking the darkness, the redness, whatever it is, wherever it is in your body, taking it up, shrinking it down, taking away all of that charge, everything that was in it. And I want you to imagine it again, throwing it way far behind you so that you can't feel it anymore. So that is it. I really hope that this really quick, really easy way of shifting your energy has brought you something positive. You can try this on anything. It is super simple, but honestly, just acknowledging what the emotion is, talking about what it is, feeling the feeling in your body, and letting it speak to you. Those are all important before you go ahead and shift it, transmute it, and throw it away. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. And again, we all need tools like this in our emotional toolbox. We are not taught how to deal with emotions, but again, if you do not know how to manage your emotions are going to manage you, and not in the good way. We've all experienced this in a negative way. So give yourself the power, take this with you, watch it whenever you need to, and remember, I love you guys so, so very much. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you want to learn more about me, come on over to the site. I have my brand new monthly membership program opening right now. I would love to see you in there. I'm going to give you a lot more guidance like this. If you want to come over and learn my manifestation tools, my mindset tools, they're already in there. I would love to see you in there. So come on over and learn more about that. If you like this, give it a like. If you want to learn more, watch the latest upload. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. So as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.